What's up everybody, Kier Gomes here and welcome back. I apologize for not having an upload yesterday, but I was working very hard on a couple of different things, so here's a little bit on that. As you can tell from the trailer and from the thumbnail and from the title, today we are going to be taking a look at the Squeezers V2 playing cards by OPC. Really stoked about this. I spent a lot of time yesterday kind of just coming up with an idea for the B-roll, had to buy a bunch of lemons, but it was all for the purpose of delivering a quality review of this deck just for you. I'm hoping that at the time of this upload, it'll be the only review for this deck on the internet, so fingers crossed. But also, I have an announcement that I'm dropping on Instagram later tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time. 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and internationally, just depends on where you live. But I was working really hard on something that I'm gonna be dropping. I'm so excited to share it. And just as a result, didn't have a lot of time to put together a video for yesterday, so here we are. Before we get started, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
All right, so first things first, I do want to say a big shout out to Cam and Nate over at OPC. Nate was able to ship out a deck to me a little bit early so that way I could do a review. Nate, really appreciate it. I have some information that I'm going to share with you guys about this deck that makes it even more special than any other OPC deck out there. This deck is actually a collaboration with Alex's Lemonade Stand. If you're not familiar with them, what they do is a charity to benefit kids with leukemia. So this deck will be made available on September 1st, and every deck sold, $1 from the sales will go to Alex's Lemonade Stand. And if they sell out all 5,000 decks, they're gonna donate $5,000 to the cause, and that is just amazing. If you don't know this, it's very difficult to get rich in the playing card world. It's not easy to do. Most of us still have regular jobs. $5,000 is a life-changing amount of money for some people, so it's super generous of Nate and Cam to be donating $1 per deck to the cause, and it's amazing. It's so inspiring. So shout out to you guys. So let's get into the review. The tuck box looks very similar to the Squeezers V1, which was an orange juice deck. It's meant to look like a juice box. It's done in glossy cardstock and is mostly made up of this kind of lemonade yellow and nice deep navy blue color. It says Squeezers and Alex's Lemonade Stand there at the top. 100% fresh lemonade. One side says no artificial flavors or preservatives. The other side says light pulp. I love that. The bottom has some ad copy and information about OPC and Alex's Lemonade Stand. The top has a little puncture mark where you can put your straw, like as if this was a juice box. My favorite part of this tuck case is the back design with the nutrition facts. It's very, very funny, as you can see. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but you can see it here. Love that. Inside the tongue flap, you get Squeezers written in yellow. I love, love, love the contrast of navy blue and yellow. It looks so good. So, so good. Let's look at the cards. Your back design looks like this. It is a nice thin white border with a nice baby blue color in the back, and then two dripping lemons mirroring each other. So same exact vibe as the Squeezers V1, which had a green back design and some oranges on it. These are lemons with a blue back design. I think it looks really, really neat. I'm very, very much into that. Jokers are gonna look like this. So you get Joker written in the corner in navy blue with the light blue J, and then just a giant dripping lemon from the back design right there in the middle. This is really nice, and these are identical, so you can use them as a duplicate if you're using this deck to perform any magic. Ace of Spades is also gonna look familiar. It's gonna be a enlarged spade pip turned upside down and given a little side handle there to make it look like a vase half full of lemonade, and it says Squeezers right there below it. The other cool thing is that it does have USPCC standard indices. However, if you can pick it up on camera, you can actually see that these are navy blue. They're not black, which I really love. Navy blue is just a good color in general. It looks very clean. All right, now in terms of ad cards and gaff cards, you're gonna get one ad card that has some information about Alex's Lemonade Stand. It's two-sided and the information is different on each side, so I'm definitely going to keep this, especially because this is a cause that is super important, and if nothing else, it's just a reminder of the amazing things that the playing card community is doing. And then you are going to get a duplicate 5 of clubs gaff card, so you can use that in Magic effects as a duplicate. Always really handy and nice to have. The rest of your cards are going to be almost standard, but the spades and clubs have been made to be navy blue instead of black, which I think looks really good and works very well with this deck. The court cards all have some customization, just like all the OPC decks. Some kind of innuendo to lemonade. So you can see here the Jack of Spades is just sipping some lemonade. Really nice colors with the blue and yellow. The Queen has like a squished juice box. Looks like the King is holding a wooden spoon. Now for your hearts and diamonds, you can see that they have been swapped out from red to yellow. Now, as a magician, this is something that doesn't contrast very well. It would make it a little bit difficult to read, but for cardistry and for the theme of this deck, I absolutely love it. I really like, Jack has like a lemon peel in his mouth. I really like the color scheme here, and I think that keeping it in theme with the deck is very important. Also really clever, very creative. I think what it all comes down to for me is with customization, you can tell when somebody's put a lot of thought into it, and it looks here like so much thought and effort went into keeping a theme and kind of motif for this deck, and that speaks volumes. Oh, these cards feel so good. Speaking of, we're pretty much done talking about the way these cards look. Let's talk about how they handle. All right, so in terms of the handling of this deck, it's printed on premium paper stock. So think just like all the OPC decks. I think minus the Peelers V1, but it's on a thicker kind of casino style stock. So this is the equivalent of B stock back in the day. It's the same thing, it's just now called premium. I really like the paper stock. It lasts a long time, but it also just feels so good. The cards are a little bit thicker than like a crushed stock or than a bicycle stock, but they do feel, again, very nice and really soft. Very easy to spring right out of the box. I'm having no issues, no resistance, just nice, clean, satisfying card flourishes. This is the new dribble sound. Very nice. If I had to compare the feeling of this deck to another deck, I would definitely say the Peelers V2 or the Snackers or the Squeezers V1. Of course, because they're by the USPCC, they fan wonderfully right out of the box. I'm having no issues. Let's get you another one. There you go. This is what it looks like if you fan it for the indices. Looks really cool. Again, that yellow almost completely blends in, which I think, again, is a cool thing, especially if you're doing cardistry with this deck. The cards spread very well, very easily. That just feels very satisfying. I just want to do that all day. Nice. Or that. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna have to buy more of these. Love it. Let's see how the cards faro. Definitely looks like the cards faro best from top to bottom. Little cascade for you. Snappiness check. Nice. Just as suspected, these cards are fairly snappy, especially because they're so thick you can hear the snap. Listen to that. Here's how they look under pressure. Nice. You mostly just get the blue, but you do get little glimpses of the yellow in there, so the contrast really does nicely. Yeah, these just feel phenomenal. Wow. And there you go. Well guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode and my review of the Squeezers V2 by Organic Playing Cards. Just want to give one more huge shout out to Nate and Cam over at OPC, not just for hooking me up with this deck, but for everything that you guys are doing to support the cause, the collaboration with Alex's Lemonade Stand. It's amazing, and it's very inspiring, and also I'm so honored that I would get to be a part of that. If you guys are interested in picking up this deck for yourself, it will be available September 1st at the Organic Playing Cards website, and I will go ahead and link that below. Also, if you haven't, please make sure you follow me on Instagram, because at about 5 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be dropping some pretty awesome news, and I can't wait for you guys to be part of it. All that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.